So here I am celebrating my anniversary, and is that a book off? Every book off that I see, I have to go in. I don't know, dude. I hate having money, and I'm a huge anime nerd, so here we go. This book off is the book off that is in Irvine, California, that is specifically only for anime-related goods. So you won't find any books here. Right off the bat, we do got a Fat Chopper, and actually kind of interesting, some Arale dolls. Was not expecting to see some Dr. Slump stuff anywhere near a book off. And here is a nice display of a bunch of different figures that they have here at the Irvine book off, and there are a lot of vintage and a lot of current figures as well. But the one thing that I did notice is that they're all priced as how you would think. And there is a Chitoge that is very expensive. Book off is a nice place to go to if you want an anime figure but you don't know exactly what you're looking for, especially if you're looking for some more vintage figures. And here we have the Snow Sprite Aqua for $70. I got mine for $40. And here's that Chitoge that I mentioned for $700. Needless to say, I did not purchase this. And tucked away in the Dragon Ball figures, here's a little Haruhi figure. It's kind of like a blind box thing, but you are getting the Haruhi that is in the front. A lot of One Piece, which makes sense because One Piece is one of the biggest animes and manga properties of all time. I don't think this Nico Robin's supposed to be bending this way. And here's another one that is super popular in the United States, JJK. And here is Quince. Now they did have the Quince figure that I was looking for, but their pricing on these figures are just a little too rich for my blood, especially since they are all prize figures. And there she is, the wedding dress Yotsuba figure that I did have my eyes on, but for that price, I know I could get it for like 20 bucks somewhere else. A lot of Rem and Ram figures. Seriously, they press a lot of these. Almost like they're saturating the market with Rem and Ram figures. And there is actually a whole section dedicated to idols. So here we have some Love Live, some Idol Master, and some K-On! Stuff. This is for all the anime boomers out there. And yes, there is a Kasumin right over there. Going to all these book offs, there are definitely different sections that you'll see and repeat. And oddly enough, Bakemonogatari is one of those sections that you see a lot at book offs, as well as Madoka. But down here, we have all the magical girl figures, the miscellaneous magical girl figures. And there's the obligatory Toho figure in the corner. What is kind of neat is that there is kind of like a vintage section to these shelves in book off. And there we do have a Hayate the Combat Butler figure in the very back and a Sakura War figure. All right, was not expecting that. Now, you could call this vintage because these figures are from the mid-2000s, but I'm not going to call them vintage because that will make me feel old. I remember when Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann was airing. And here we have some slime figures, and we do have the Milim Relax Time figure. And there is actually a whole section dedicated to Uma Musume. Yeah, this book off is filled with surprises. Now, these are all the prize figures, and I wouldn't recommend them for that. You could definitely get them from an anime convention for a little cheaper, but if you don't have an anime convention readily available, you could definitely pick up whatever you're missing here. And here we have the Q Pocket. These are kind of like Funko Pops, but a little more unique, I'd say. And yeah, these are all anime figures. Like, the entire store is essentially this. There's a nice selection of anime figures that I was not expecting to see here. And this book off is definitely going to be one of those stores that I just pop into every now and then just to see what they have. And there is a section dedicated to the plushies. Remember, wash your plushies, especially if they're used. You have no idea where they're from. Here we have a Pikachu with a hat. And of course, you got somebody's body pillow from Neptunia. Again, like I said, wash them. Here are the miscellaneous boxes. And of course, there is a Ram figure in the miscellaneous box. And we do have some Gunpla and model kits here. I am kind of wary about purchasing the model kits from a book off because I don't know if they're missing pieces or not. And there's figures all the way to the top as well. And here are the loose items. And we have a Demon Slayer Onigiri holder as well as a bento box. And here we have the boxless figures. Get them for cheap and buy them in a bag. We have CC from Code Geass, as well as a headless Uma Musume. Here's some gross minions, and behind the Kanan, we do have a somewhat interesting figure. This is Emilia from Ray Zero, dressed as Aqua from Konosuba. It looks like a bootleg. I promise you, it's not. And they do have video games here. Here is a spread of all of the different Game Boy games that they have. And soccer, this is second Soccer Wars thing in this store. So of course I'm going to pick that up. Now these are all Japanese games. And of course, if you have a Retron 5, you could definitely just patch these up. And here is a Tamagotchi game that looks a little interesting. It's a little too wide. And here are all the Famicom games, and we do have some Famicom boxed games. Nothing too interesting, but here are the more interesting loose games. And at the very top, we have some 64 and Super Nintendo boxed games. There we have Super Mario 64 in the box, as well as Super Smash Brothers in the box. And here is a nice spread of the Super Famicom games. There was Tactics Ogre, which I have not played yet. I should probably stream it. I do love the Super Sun Faded Super Mario 64 in the top corner there. And of course, here are the loose games. So let's see what we get. Super Mario RPG for $3. A lot of these games are priced extremely cheap, and if you purchase a game that you don't really need to worry about the language barrier, you're golden. Like, there's a lot of Super Mario Worlds for $3, and Akira, we have your copy if you're missing it. There is Chrono Trigger for $3. Of course, there is a patch for this as well, a retranslation patch, so I should have picked this one up, honestly. And Super Mario Kart for $3. And again, with this one, you don't need a lot of Japanese. You can just pick it up and play it. And I had to leave before I spent all my money. Of course, you know what I got. Soccer Wars on the Game Boy. And that's where we're going to end it. Super quick video. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for watching. Peace.